The thing about art is, it is subjective. It could be beautiful to some and ugly to others. This mural could be beautiful to me, even though it's raining, it could be ugly to you. But some things are just irrefutably beautiful. The grand masters, Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, their work of art, now that's just beautiful in every sense of the word. A good bowl of spaghetti bolognese, that is a beautiful piece of art, undeniable. And another thing that's irrefutably beautiful, an Alfa Romeo Giulietta. Well, guess what? We get to drive it. So of course, this is a turbo engine. One would expect a little bit of turbo lag. Well, south of 2k revs, yeah, it's quite dead. But once you start building up the revs, you will realize that power delivery is smooth and efficient and exactly the right amount where you need it. This car puts out 250 Newton meters of torque and 167 brake horsepower. We do have a much hotter version of the Alfa Giulietta, which is the Quadrifoglio Verde, and that puts out 235 brake horsepower from a 1 3/4 of a litre engine. And that one would definitely sink. Now, of course, you've got the DNA switch, which allows you to select the mode you're driving in. It also comes with the 6-speed twin clutch transmission. Goodbye cellar speed. Some of the previous Alfa owners would remember the cellar speed as being one of the taboo words in motoring, especially in Malaysia, because people think that the cellar speed fails all the time. And I used to own an Alfa, so I've had my fair share of concerns, but it never really gave a problem. But for now, the 6-speed TCT does a pretty good job in manual mode. All right, here we go. Finally found a bit of an open road. Now listen to this. Can you hear it? Yep, neither can I. And that is the biggest problem I have with this particular Alfa Romeo, because that is the biggest problem with this Alfa. It does not sound like an Alfa, and Alfa Romeo needs to sound beautiful, it needs to sound guttural, it needs to have that oomph in that sound. That is what Alfas are known for. It's supposed to sound visceral. See, I figured the best way to actually enjoy the beauty of this Alfa, just like any beautiful work of art in a gallery, is to exclude it from busy surroundings and bring it here to a blank canvas, so to say. And this basement here is as good a blank canvas as I can get. Plus, you know, you get it out of the rain. What's not to like about it? Now, this car clearly and evidently is much bigger than the 147 that it replaces. It's wider, it's broader, it's taller. And whilst I try not to comment on the beauty, or rather the design aesthetics of the car, because again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, there are certain elements that need to be pointed out. For example, this car works best in a bright color. In darker shades, you lose these visual elements of the creases on the bonnet, as well as the very strong shoulder line that seems to disappear if the car is of a darker shade. Now, of course, an Alfa Romeo can only be best consumed when it is red, in my opinion. Well, there's nothing not to like about the way this car looks, in my opinion. Again, what's the story inside? Well, let's take a look. At the end of the day, this is an Italian car. So this is what the interior of the Alfa Romeo Giulietta looks like. Now, the moment you step in, it becomes apparent that you are in Automobili Italia. The first thing that you will notice, of course, is this very, very beautiful red leather seats. Look at the way the Italians pay attention to the detail. Even the aircon vents are not disturbing the line of this silver-colored panel here. And it just flows from one end of the car, of the cabin, to the other, and it's absolutely beautiful. And for those who are familiar with Alfa Romeos, it's a very familiar setup of the speedometer on the left and the rev counter on the right, and they are flanking, of course, the fuel as well as the temperature gauges. Now, slight problem here, where in most modern cars in this class you have beautiful multicolored displays. In the Alfa Romeo Giulietta, you don't find any of those. It's actually quite dated. It actually looks not too dissimilar from the Alfa Romeo 147 that I owned previously. And I think when you're spending 180,000 ringgit odd, you want something more. One other problem that I have with this interior is that it doesn't have enough cubby holes. Come on, this is Malaysia. You get two cup holders over here, which are relatively shallow, and if you put a bottle of mineral water down here, it will topple over when you drive. And then you've got one small cubby hole there and two on the side, and that's it. The buttons are very solidly made and they're beautifully crafted, and the materials used is soft to the touch, which is great, and the finish is beautiful. But therein again also lies a problem, because I think you're going to need one of this if you own the car, because you're going to constantly be doing that. You get to see every single speck of dust that is on these panels, and that it's just, nah, you can't. So, this is what it all boils down to. This is what we think of the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulietta. This car is thoroughly comprehensive. It is practical, reliable, and economical. It is also very modern European. And therein lies the problem, in my opinion. You see, because Alfistis do not buy Alfa Romeos because of those qualities I just said earlier. From way back then, even in Malaysia or any part of the world, Alfistis buy Alfa Romeo because upon first sight, first sound, first smell, first touch, they know nothing other but to really, really, really want one there and then. You see, Alfa Romeos do that to people. They tug at strings on your heart that you never knew was there before. It is all about passion, Italian passion, and cuore sportivo. But for this car, whilst it's really, really good, for my money, it is not quite that.
That's it for this week, guys. Next week, it's Christmas. As a treat, Dino will show you what it's like to drive a supercar. 500 bhp turning 2 rear wheels. Yum! See you next week.